Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna do a Q&A. I asked you guys a couple of weeks ago and then again last night if you had any questions for me, and I'm just gonna be sitting down chilling with you all and answering them. I did one of these a few months ago and I honestly don't remember what questions I answered on it, so I might have some overlap in this video, but if you're interested in anything else about me, go ahead and check that video out too. Also, before we get started, I just want to point out my setup right now. So I always film in my daughter's room. We know this, but I actually moved my vanity from being right here on this wall to this wall in my room, and this is like my nightstand over here and my mirror, and then our bed's right here. But anyways, yeah, I feel like this is a good filming setup and I'm really happy with it. My thing is though, I don't know how permanent this will be because I usually film during my daughter's nap time and she sleeps in my room on my bed. So I can't like be filming while she's sleeping right here. But anyways, I also just want to apologize for the awful lighting. There's not a lot of like good natural light that comes to my house. Our room's on the opposite end of the house, and so like the sunlight comes from this way. So we just get like a lot of overcast in our room. It's not very like sunny, especially today. It's like kind of gloomy outside. So anyways, I'm sorry about that. All right, let's get started. So the first question is, do you want to have more kids? Yes and no. It's just like this constant back and forth for me personally, like if I want to have another kid. Like I do, deep down, I really do want to have another kid, but being a mom is so hard, and like I want to give my daughter a sibling. I want to, like, I can't imagine growing up as an only child. I don't really know what it's like. I have two brothers, so I want her to have someone, at least one other sibling to like play with and like go to amusement parks with, be partners on rides together, you know, little things like that that I feel like make a difference in your childhood. And I just like, I kind of see how lonely she is, especially now in quarantine. Like I can't be doing play dates with her, or like I like, you know, letting her near other little kids. So I do want to give her a sibling and I do want to have another kid, but man, just thinking back to the sleepless nights and God, it's so hard. I want to do a whole video actually on like my experience with motherhood and everything, because I don't know, I feel like I could just go on and on about it, so I can't really like sit here and talk for that long about this one question. Also, like with this pandemic right now and just everything going on in the world, I'm like, do I really want to bring another kid into this world? Do I want to give birth with a mask on? Like there's so many things to take into consideration and it's really hard. But I guess like short answer, I do. I just don't know when, and I don't know if it will happen, but I'm pretty sure it will happen. Like I can't see myself with just one kid, but right now I just turned 24. I feel like there's no rush, but I also want to have, you know, have them be closer in age. She's almost 2, so like now would be the time. So I don't know, I might just say fuck it one day and just do it. Okay, next question is, how did you and your husband meet? I think I answered this in my other Q&A, but I'll answer it again. We met in statistics class in college. It was like my third time taking stats and failing. So yeah, he sat like a few rows in front of me, and we just like started flirting one day, basically, like long story short, and yeah, we just hit it off and we've been together ever since. We both dropped out of that stats class because we paid too much attention to each other, not enough attention to the actual class, and so then we ended up retaking it in the summertime. I got pregnant super fast, like 3 months into dating, and we've been married now for like a year and a half, and we have an almost 2-year-old. So yeah, we met in college in stats class. I hate math. Okay, what is your favorite childhood memory? This is really hard, but I feel like just growing up in general, I lived in Japan for a long time when I was younger, and those are just like some of the best memories of my life. I feel like everything was so simple back then. I love Japan. It's one of my favorite places in the world, probably actually my favorite place, top 2. So I don't know, it's just Like that whole vibe that I got when I was there was just like some of the best times of my life when I was a kid. I got to experience the Japanese culture and it was amazing, and it changed my life, and it changed how I view things. But I guess to answer your question about like a specific memory, I can't choose a top one. I just can't. But just like based on what I just said about living in Japan and everything, I got to do so many cool things. I got to go to so many festivals. I got to climb Mount Fuji when I was younger. I got to go on so many cool field trips and visit Japanese schools and like play kickball with Japanese students. And of course the food was amazing. When I was in 6th grade, I actually got to go on like the annual 6th grader field trip, and we took a ferry to the other island and we got to go to the Sapporo Snow Festival. I got to be like a foreign exchange type of student, like stay with a college Japanese woman. Her name is Ana Ito, and I want to find her so bad, but I just don't know how to like look her up. Like, it's been so long. She might be married by now and have a different last name. I don't know, but she was the college student that I actually stayed with back then, and then she stayed at our house. I also have a really fond memory. We lived in 3 different houses when we lived in Japan, and one was on the Air Force base because my dad was in the Air Force, and then the second one was off base, and we lived in this house that was completely isolated. It was like a block from the beach. We had no neighbors. It was like way out in the country. Like there was just like fields all around, flower fields and other like food crops and stuff like that. And it was just like the coolest house to live in. It was like kind of like Japanese style, but like modern, like Western influenced. Like it had like Western toilets and stuff, but we still had like the sliding paper doors and like the tatami mats and stuff like that. And anyways, we lived like a block away from the beach, and I remember I would just ride my bike to the beach, chill for a few hours, and go home all by myself. It was so chill. So one day I was at the beach actually with a friend, and I saw a duckling just like floating in the middle of the ocean, and I was like, that's weird. Well, there was actually a like, I don't know, like a crop plantation, like I don't know what it's called, but it was like this building, and there was like a sewer chute that went out into the ocean, and it would spew out like carrots and like random things that were just like discarded from this company, but just food, nothing like bad. But ducks had ended up getting washed down the drain, and there were a bunch of ducklings. I had my friend run home. I ran out to the ocean. I scooped up as many ducklings as I could, carried them in my shirt, and my friend came back with a laundry basket. I went back into the ocean. I just rescued like 20 ducklings, brought them all home, and I was able to raise most of them into full-grown ducks and then release them. So that was just like an amazing memory that I have growing up there. Top 5 makeup products that you want right now. I was literally just thinking about this. Black Friday's going on. I said I wasn't going to shop. I did buy a few things, but I was like very selective and restrained myself from a lot. So I'd say the top 5 things that I want right now that I didn't buy, you might see a haul coming soon. The Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Bronzer in the shade Medium. I got the shade Fair. Was way too light for me. I don't understand how it works for people, because it like literally works so well on people that are darker than me, and I'm like, how? I don't understand. But yeah, I want that bronzer. I also really want a Charlotte Tilbury quad, probably Pillow Talk, but I'm open to like the palette of pops that they have that are all shimmer. I really want just like a little mini Charlotte Tilbury palette, but I also don't, because I don't want to like fall in love with it and then want all of them. I just want one that will be like special to me. I also am still really interested in the Aether Beauty Joshua Tree eyeshadow palette. I don't think I'd get a ton of use out of it, so that's why I haven't picked it up, but I just like have a special place in my heart for Joshua Tree, and I also just think the colors are really pretty in that palette. I also really want to try the Charlotte Tilbury like under eye corrector, I guess. By the way, this person said luxury edition, so I'm trying to stay luxury, but I'm like looking at my Sephora loves list, and like there's stuff I want, but I just like really don't feel the need to buy it. or like want it like that badly, so I like hesitate saying it. But I guess the fifth thing would be the Makeup Forever Reboot Foundation, but I won't be getting any of these probably anytime soon. Okay, next question. You can only keep one. Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter or Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue. Well, they're two totally different products, but okay, that's a really hard question. I was gonna say the Flawless Filter because I was like, well, I can replace my Bare Minerals with the ColourPop Tinted Moisturizer. I love that one, but I'm not sure if that one was breaking me out, so then I wouldn't know which one to like replace it with. And the Charlotte Tilbury I feel like is easily more dupeable. But the reason I love the Charlotte Tilbury one is because I can use it as a primer, I can mix it in with my foundations, I can wear it on its own, I can wear it as a highlighter, whereas something like this Glotion by L'Oreal, I can't use this as a highlighter. It's like very lotiony. So the Flawless Filter is very unique in that aspect, so I think I would say the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter, although I don't use it as much as the Bare Minerals one. So why did you have to ask me that question, Laura? That's a really hard one. What's the best feeling makeup gives you? Just a sense of like being calm, I guess, like the act of putting it on. I feel like, especially lately, I've been feeling like it's so therapeutic, and I've been trying to like not pressure myself to do anything crazy with my makeup, because for so long, like probably years at this point, when I put makeup on, like it's fun, but I also feel intense pressure to like do a different look every time, use different products every time, like do a different technique, like a cut crease, or try this and that, and then at the end I'm like not completely in love with my makeup, and I'm like, why do I keep trying to basically like be someone I'm not? It's like my fantasy self, and I don't know, I'll talk more about this in a later video for my plans with like spending and stuff next year, but I just feel like, I don't know, it gets overwhelming. So lately I've been trying to like take a step back, use what I like, no pressure, do a simple eye look, play around, but don't put pressure on myself every day to just play around, you know? So lately I've just been feeling very calm when I play with makeup, and it's just very therapeutic for me. It's like my me time, my time away from everybody, from being a mom, and I can just like be myself. Okay, what are your favorite things about being a mom? I may have answered this one in my last Q&A also, but like it's fine, I'll answer it again. There's so many bad things about being a mom. It's so fucking stressful, but it's just like so worth it. It's so amazing to like just have someone that I just have never felt like a love like this before in my life. I don't know. If you're a mom or a parent, you may understand this, but it's different when you have a baby cousin or a niece or a nephew. When you have your own kid, it is just like through the roof amazing. And I just love to like watch her meet new milestones. That's one of my favorite things. Like every day she's learning something new. She talks really well now, and I just love like her trying to pronounce new words, and then one day it's like, oh my god, she said it right. And it's just, I love those little moments, and I just love like the bond that we share also. It's just unlike anything that I will probably ever experience. Okay, continuing on. If you could only eat 5 foods for the rest of your life, what would they be? Sushi, particularly a baked lobster roll. Those are my favorite. Man, Mexican food, I guess I have to choose something specific. I'd say tacos and also ceviche. And then I think I'd have to say Korean short ribs and rice. Those are my top 5. Love ribs, love Mexican food, love Japanese food, sushi especially, and I love rice with everything. So, what do you wish to accomplish in the next 2 years? Gotta speak it into existence. Yes, that's very true. So in the next 2 years, I hope to have my bachelor's degree. I also hope to possibly have another child or be trying to have another child. That's a maybe, but that's kind of like what I'm picturing will happen. And I also hope to be started sort of down my career path. Not entirely sure what my career is going to look like or what I'm gonna do. I'm not like set on anything specific, but I do know the field I want to work in, which I did talk about that in my other Q&A. I'll leave it linked down below if you're interested in more. But I hope to be kind of starting on my career path and just kind of like work on our house a little bit more, clean up the front yard, clean up the backyard, have it a little bit more established and not so like sparse. It is our first home and it is quite large for us just starting out with not a lot of furniture, so I hope to have it like more filled out. And I just hope to be happy with whatever I'm doing, whatever I like doing. I just hope that I'm happy and I hope that my family's happy. I hope my husband is doing well for himself, and I hope my kids are going to be doing well, and my daughter, if I have another kid, you know. So yeah, nothing too specific, kind of things that are like inevitable at this point. I guess the biggest thing would just to be to get started on my career, because I know in 2 years I will have my bachelor's degree. So yeah. Do you have a tattoo? Yes, I have 3 tattoos, so I guess I could show that to you. This is my first tattoo I ever got. I was 18 years old, and this is my best friend's handwriting and a letter that she wrote me. It says, "I love you so much," with the little heart. So yeah, that is my best friend's handwriting. I've been meaning to like say this or mention it whenever people ask about this tattoo, but my best friend actually passed away when we were 17, and so when I was 18 I got this tattoo, and I don't want to talk about it, but I feel like that's kind of important. That's why I got this tattoo in the first place, and I can go more into depth on that maybe in a later video, but it would have to be like a dedicated video. Maybe like how I deal with grief, or dealt with grief, losing your best friend, losing a sister, stuff like that. But yeah, that was my first tattoo. I have this piece right here on my left arm. This was my newest one. I got it right before I turned 21, so it's been a while now that I've actually gotten inked. But this is, I'll have to show it again. So these are actually forget-me-nots, and then these are poppies. I got this in honor of my great-grandparents on my mom's side. So my great-grandmother, she passed away about 3 or 4 years ago. I called her Momo, and she always would tell me, like, don't forget me. And I remember one year for my birthday she got me a doll. Maybe I'll like leave a link to it down below or something, but she got me like this little figurine, I guess, of a woman holding forget-me-not flowers, and then it says like, "Please don't forget about me," or something on the bottom. And like on every picture she would send me cards for my birthday, and she would always say, "Please don't forget about me." And it's kind of heartbreaking. I didn't get to grow up around my family a lot because like my dad was in the military, and yeah, like I just feel bad that she thinks I would ever forget about her, even though I didn't get to see her too much. Like, I would never forget about her. She was an amazing woman. And then her husband is my Poppy. He just passed away like a year and a half ago. But yeah, I called him Poppy, like Poppy for the flower. So I got forget-me-nots for Momo, and then poppies for Poppy. And I actually got to show my Poppy this. He was a World War II veteran, 1 year from the war, and he was like my hero. So my daughter was actually born the day after his birthday, so that was really special to me also, and they just like are some of my favorite people in the world, and I really miss them. So I got this. I got it after Momo passed away, but before Poppy passed away. And then the last one is this. That is an origami paper crane, and I actually got that with my best friend who passed. I made friends with a bunch of her friends it's a long story, but she had my best friend moved away, and she passed away in Texas, and so I ended up becoming friends with a lot of her friends in Texas and visiting a few times. And I became really good friends with one of her friends, and we ended up getting matching tattoos together. I have this origami crane on my ankle and she has one on her wrist. And it basically, at the time, it's like a really good memory when we got this tattoo. Maybe I can do a tattoo video. I don't know. I only have 3, so I feel like it's not really that big of a deal, but I do want more. But anyways, we just got it because it symbolizes like going through a hard time and, you know, prevailing through it, and like we helped each other through the hard time of losing our friend. And yeah, so we got matching tattoos. Okay, favorite music artist. I have a lot. I grew up, I think I answered this also maybe, but Sublime is by far like my favorite band of all time. R.I.P. Bradley. Also No Doubt. Maybe I should choose someone who's like actually still sings. But I love Gwen Stefani. I love Rihanna. I don't know. I do really like music. I don't listen to it like a ton anymore. I don't have time to listen to music, which sucks. Like I don't drive anywhere, so I don't really listen to music. But I love a lot of music. I don't know if I could choose a favorite, but my number one is definitely Sublime. If I had to choose an artist though, I don't know. I guess I would say Gwen Stefani because she is dope. Maybe Rihanna. Rihanna and Gwen Stefani are like up here for me. I also love Jhené Aiko. Okay, next question. Would you ever get a pet? If so, what kind? Yeah, I'm open to pretty much any type of pet. My number one pick would be a dog, and I would want like a lazy dog. Favorite cream blush formula. So Nude Sticks for sure. This is Naughty and Spice, but I just grabbed anyone. So I love the Nudies matte formula. I have 2 of the Blooms, which are their dewy ones. I like those. They're not like my favorite, but I love the matte ones. Those I have a ton. And then also the half-caked candy paints right here. I just chose Tragic Kingdom. This is a really pretty peach. Those are my favorites. Does being a mom make it harder to push out content? 100% yes. It's definitely doable, obviously. I'm doing it, but I live a very high stress lifestyle. Not only am I a mom, but I am in school full-time online, and I also like own a house, and it's always messy, and like I have to feed my kid. It's not just like watching a kid, like you have to spend time with them, you have to feed them, like it's a whole thing. So yeah, it's definitely harder. It's really hard to film sometimes. Like I'll sit down to film and she only naps for 10 minutes and I can't film that day. I stress about when I'm going to post a video, and you know, YouTube isn't my job. Like I try not to treat it as a job. Like I try not to stress, but I enjoy doing it and I do prioritize it for that reason. But obviously like my daughter will always be prioritized above everything. I also have to throw school into the mix, and then just like getting dinner on the table and cleaning and, you know, doing housewife shit. So yes, it is harder, but it is doable for me, but it is still stressful to do that. All right guys, I'm going to have to cut this Q&A off here because my camera's about to die and I have to take care of a child. So that is it. Those are all the questions I'll be answering today. There are a few I didn't get to. I'm gonna save those and we can do like a get ready with me soon, and I will like chat about some of these things in that video. So if your question did not get answered, then I will try my best to discuss it in a video in the future, or I will save this small group of questions that I got for another Q&A in a few months' time. If there's anything else you want to know about me or any questions that you have pertaining to anything, any video ideas you want to see, literally anything, let me know in the comments down below. You can also DM me on Instagram or leave a comment on my Instagram. So I would love to know any more questions that you have for me, so that way I can do another one of these videos. I really enjoy just sitting here talking to you and not like doing my makeup while I'm doing it. It feels really good. no friend life. But anyways, that is going to be it from me today. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.